so incomprehensible that many of the subscribers thought that some event even more horrible than the fall of the chandelier must have affected the state of their mind. In their daily intercourse, they showed themselves very impatient, except with Madame Gurgi, who had been reinstated in her functions, and their reception of the Vicomte de Chagny, when he came to ask about Christine, was anything but cordial. They merely told him that she was taking a holiday. He asked how long the holiday was for, and they replied curtly that it was for an unlimited period, as Madame Daae had requested leave of absence for reasons of health. Then she is ill? He cried. What is the matter with her? We don't know. Didn't you send the doctor of the opera to trust her, to see her? No, she did not ask for him. And as we trust her, we took her word. Rao left the building a prey to the gloomy thoughts. He resolved, come what might, to go and inquire of Mamma Valerius. He remembered the strong phrases in Christine's letter, forbidding him to make any attempts to see her. But what he had seen at Perros, what he had heard behind the dressing room door, his conversation with Christine at the edge of the moor, made him respect some machination, which, devilish thought it might be, was none the less human. The girl's highly strung imagination, her affectionate and crudulous mind, and primitive education, which had surrounded her childhood with a circle of legends and constant brooding over her father, and above all, the state of sublime escape into which music threw her from the moment that this art was made manifest to her in certain exceptional conditions, as the churchyard at Perros. All this seemed to him to constitute a moral ground only too favorable for the malevolent designs of some mysterious and unscrupulous person, of whom was Christine Daae the victim. This was the very reasonable question which Rao put to himself as he hurried off to Madame Valerius. He trembled as he ran at the little flat in the Rue Notre Dame des Victoires. The door was opened by the maid whom he had seen coming out of Christine's dressing room one evening. He asked if he could speak to Madame Valerius. He was told that she was ill in bed and not receiving visitors. "Take in my card, please," he said. The maid soon returned and showed him into a small and scanty furnished drawing room, in which portraits of Professor Valerius and old Daae hung on opposite walls. Madame begs Monsieur le Vicomte to excuse her," said the servant. She can only see him in her bedroom because she can no longer stand on her poor legs." 5 minutes later, Raoul was ushered into an ill-lit room where he at once recognized the good, kind face of Christine's benefactress, and in the semi-darkness of the alcove, Madame Valerius's hair was now quite white, but her eyes had grown no older. Never, on the contrary, had their expression been so bright, so pure, so childlike. "Madame de Charny! Madame de Charny!" she cried gaily, putting out both... "Oh, Monsieur de Charny! Monsieur de Charny! There we go." She cried gaily, putting out both her hands to the visitor. "Ah, it's heaven that sends you here. We can talk of her." This last sentence sounded very gloomy in the young man's ear. He at once asked, "Madame, where is Christine?" And the old lady replied glumly, "She is with her good genius." "What good genius?" exclaimed poor Raoul. "Why, the angel of music." The Viscount dropped into the chair. "Really?" Christine was with the angel of music, and there lay Madame Valerius in bed, smiling to him, and putting a finger to her lips to warn him to be silent, and she added, "You must not tell anyone." "You can rely on me," said Raoul. He hardly knew what he was saying, for his ideas about Christine, already getting greatly confused, were becoming more and more entangled, and it seemed as if everything was beginning to turn around him and around the room, around that extraordinary good lady with the white hair and forget-me-not eyes. I know I can," she said with a happy laugh. "But why don't you come near me, as you used to do when you were a little boy? Give me your hands, as when you brought me the story of little Lottie, which Daddy Dayad had told you. I am very fond of you, Monsieur Raoul, you know, and so is Christine too." "She is fond of me?" sighed the young man. He found a difficulty in collecting his thoughts and bringing them to bear on Madame Valerius' good genius, on the angel of music of whom Christine had spoken to him so strangely, on the death's head, which he had seen in a sort of nightmare on the high altar of Paros, and also on the opera ghost, whose fame had come to his ears one evening when he was standing behind the scenes, within hearing of a group of scene shifters who were repeating the ghastly description which the hanged man, Joseph Bouquet, had given the ghost before his mysterious death. He asked in a low voice, "What makes you think Christine is fond of me, madame?" "She used to speak of you every day." "Really?" "And what did she tell you?" "She told me that you had made her a proposal." And the good old lady began laughing wholeheartedly. Raoul sprang from his chair, flushed to his temples, suffering agonies. What's this? Where are you going? Sit down again at once, will you? Do you think I will let... Oh. What's this? Where are you going? Sit down again at once, will you? Don't you think I will let you go like that? If you're angry with me for laughing, I beg your pardon. After all, what has happened isn't your fault. Didn't you know? Did you think that Christine was free? Is Christine engaged to be married? The wretched Rao asked in a choking voice. Why no, You know as well as I do that Christine couldn't marry even if she wanted to. But I don't know anything about it. And why can't Christine marry? Because of the Angel of Music, of course. I don't follow. Perfect timing, actually. All right.